Bobby banging his bitch. Hilltop hustler, Bobby banging his bitch. Bobby banging his bitch, yeah. We click different. Rags too rich is not a whole spot move. I fish, yeah, I can tricks, yeah, we win it. Never slip it. Knowledge hard and it's tight, just like a fitted. Hilltop hustler, Bobby bang to talk the slickest. Came from Mount of Luck, it's not my whole style, the slickest. Highness forces got these critics steady quitting. Being more drill houses in the base, keep on hitting. Bobby banging his bitch. Bobby banging his bitch. Hilltop hustler, yeah, you know I'm in this bitch. Hilltop hustler, Bobby banging. Hilltop hustler, Bobby banging his bitch. Hilltop hustler, Bobby banging.
Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's Bobby banging this bitch, man. What's good, family, man? Y'all know what it is, man. Coming at you for real. That's how we doing it. We getting it right and tighten everything up, man. Big up to everybody that's in the building, man. We got about an hour and a half, man. And hopefully we can get Skeptics to go live. Kind of got the run our mouth in the Discord and messed up the whole time. Yeah, we messing it up. But we here. You know, it's Friday, man. It's that Friday Atheist show, man. You know how we doing it. We still on their heads, man. We never stopping. We never stopping. That ain't what we doing, man. Big up to everybody that's in the building, man. Appreciate you, Cedric, man. Pseudo Killer Official, man. You know what to do, man. Black Sun, what's going on? What to do? What to do? Kaboom, what to do? Man, what's up? Vince, man, what to do? What to do? What to do, man? You know how we doing it, man. Listen, people get up here, man. I see y'all are in here. We got my favorite in the goddamn building. Juju, good juju, bad goddamn juju. Let's hope we can get good juju for most of the time and then bad juju for most of the time. Yeah, that'll keep it good and balanced. That keep them on their damn toes. Look, man, we're going to keep going, right? All right. I see you, Pilot J. What's good on? Space Age Anthony. What's going on with you, man? You know what it is, man. Appreciate you, bro, up in this damn piece, man, like you're supposed to be, man. How they say it, all day, every day. See if I can switch this real quick, man. All right. all day, every day, man. Make sure y'all support our family shows, man. Man, Sad Talk, man. Make sure y'all support that, man. Make sure y'all support Galaxy and Beyond. And make sure you support Mag Rob and our medical shows. What y'all calling that show, man? What did we call that? Did we get that a name yet, man? Man, we ain't got time for no capping. Stop the cap. If it's on your mind already to start the capping, I'm letting you know right now, stop the damn cap, man. Be on the lookout for Scam I Am. Dr. Seuss Scam I Am, the cat with the funny hat. Be on the lookout for him. He's always somewhere around. He's somewhere playing doctor. Keep an eye on it, ladies and gentlemen. Big up to all the pseudo killers, man. Watch out for the people that's drinking and trying to get on the show. They're always drinking and getting on the damn show. Be on the lookout for them. Yeah, they be drinking. All day, every day, man. Man, if you caught me early on Sarnetta Studios, I talked about West African medicine and how that was part of the scientific revolution. Most of y'all didn't know that. Go back and check the show. I'm going to bring it on here for episode. It's probably episode 30, right? I always bring it over here and play it. But if you want to, go over there and go look at it. It was earlier today. So we're going to get right into it, man. All right, let the people get them here for a minute. See how it go, man. There's some more people come, and we're going to get our thing on, man. Because you know how we do it. Man, it's that Friday Atheist show, man. I'm going to drop the link early and often, man. And this is what we're doing. All right? So, appreciate everybody that's in the building, man. All right? Kick back for a minute, man. See how y'all doing, man. Don't forget, we always on Mount Olympus right here, man. Got that golden rope, though. That golden rope coming tumbling down. Grab onto it. It's a scientific literacy joint. Of course it is. And we just want to make sure everybody's comfortable, man. Pay attention, man. You know what I'm saying? How they say, yo, be careful what you ask for. Right? It's a hard-ass road to get to science with the mental thinking, the way you think about things. Right? We talked about how regimes, right? Knowledge, right? How these knowledge regimes, these organized knowledge bases was a way of thinking. We talked about the Stone Age and how they knowledge was, right? We talked about the Iron Age, the Bronze Age, right? We brought y'all all the way up to the scientific revolution. And y'all thought that was the end, huh? Nah. Right? A lot of times we so busy trying to act like we had something, and we forget the things that went into habit. Now, the thinking capacity was always there, but it had to be a complete cultural shift to be able to get to the point we was talking about. And it took an exorbitant amount of money. So that part is really, really important. So y'all see the title, Scientific Revolution, Slavery, and Colonization. It's point blank. Ain't no other way to say it. Ain't no way to do it, man. Got to get right there. So, going to talk a little bit about Newton. Yeah, he was in the game. Yeah. Maybe we should start off with Newton, huh? I want to start off with Newton. They say you went far to the left, yo, if you talking about Newton. Yeah, F Newton. Y'all tripping. Man, we just kicking the thing, man. We getting it right, man. So, yeah, maybe I'll start off with Newton. Touch him up a little bit, right? Give y'all a little bit of Newton. Let's start off with Newton a little bit. The natural philosopher. I ain't going to argue at you if you retrofit it and call him a scientist. But I think when we watch Sad Talk, kind of walked y'all through each individual in a mindset, a way of thinking, right? Because that's what we talk about. There's a certain way of thinking, right? We also read sources like like this: magic, reasoning, and experience. Studies in the origin and development of Greek science. We talked about that, man. Sure did, right? Always got the sources on deck. All right. Like for instance, if you're in our server, you can actually get a copy of this, what I just showed y'all, right? All right. That's the book I just showed y'all. This is the download, all right? PDF version of it. And it's just basically talking about the criticisms of magic and inquiry concerning nature, right? Right? And just real quick, it says, I do not believe the sacred disease is any more divine or sacred than any other disease. But on the contrary, just as other diseases have a natural form which they arise, so this one has a nature and a definite cause. Nevertheless, because it is completely different from other diseases, it has been regarded as the divine veneration by those who, being only human, view it with ignorance and astonishment. Goes on to say, shortly afterwards, the writer makes suggestions about why the disease came to be considered sacred. All right. And real quick here, let me 16. I want to kind of hold on. Let me see. Go to 15. I'll tell you what we're reading from, actually. All right, hold on. We actually reading. Hold on. This is the Greek treatise right here. All right. All right. And the criticisms of magic, right? All right. Y'all see it. Criticisms of magic. All right. On the sacred disease. Y'all can look that up. On the sacred disease. All right. Okay. All right. And they criticizing it. All right. One day we're going to get all the way into it, but I just want to do some light touch up right here. All right. Okay. This is important. Certain words going to pop up. It says, it is my opinion that those who first called this disease sacred, make it a little bit bigger. It's going to be real interesting. Those that call this disease sacred were the sort of people we now call maggies, purifiers, vagabonds, and charlatans. So they calling them charlatans. It say these are exactly the people who pretend to be very pious and to be, look, particularly wise. Don't we got people like that around us right now with the fake medicine? It say by invoking the divine element, they were able to screen their own failures, right? To give suitable treatment, and so called this a sacred Mandalay. Look at that. To conceal their ignorance of its nature. It's the charlatans around you, man. The Dr. Sabies, the Feel Good Valentines, all the pseudos, the ones that selling herbs on their website. Man, they really charlatans. They vagabonds. They practicing magic. They claim to be purifiers. And they hide it under what? Under calling this sacred and divine. By picking their phrases carefully, prescribing purifications and incantations, along with, come on, abstinence from baths and from many foods unsuitable for the sick, they ensure, that their therapeutic measures were safe for themselves. They was scamming back in Greece. But the point I'm saying, but in this particular museum of knowledge, right? They was actually calling that out. They wasn't actually calling that out in Egypt per se, meaning in a written text. Remember I did the conversation talking about the magic and how each civilization dealt with it? They went straight to the point. They was killing the pseudos right here for sure. Wasn't playing with them, right? But that does not mean that in their medicines that they still had magic, because they did. But they definitely accused them of being charlatans and being completely out of order right here. Wow. And that's basically the difference between the way you think about something. I'm trying to pull you in, right, to kind of get how are they thinking about this magic? How did the Egyptians thought about it, right? How was they seeing it? All right, it was okay. They took the magic off and they put the magic back on. They wasn't calling it out. It wasn't part of the way they was thinking about it. That's okay though. But I give you this example of the Egyptians, the way they handled magic and the way the Greeks handled magic, right? They still had magic in their culture, but they handled it in a different way. This is the way they was thinking about it. It's based off their culture contained of ideas, right? Remember, they started to call the Greek philosophers atheists, those that are going against the state-sponsored religion, or those that are trying to give an explanation about the natural world without the gods. The Egyptians wasn't doing that. The gods was an integral part of their world, just like the Greeks was, but they wasn't questioning it. Just like in the conscious community, y'all do it today. Why are y'all questioning the elders? Why are y'all questioning the Egyptian gods, the black gods? Remember that? We glorify the gods, right? The black gods this, the black gods that. The elders, they put the elders here. We do all that, no questioning them. And when you question them, y'all start throwing tomatoes. How dare you do that? And there you go. But that is our very point, and it brings us to this. Y'all can go back and look at that. I did. It was called Medicine, Magic, and Clinical Reasoning, how the Egyptian and Greek medical traditions handled magic differently. I'll go back and look at that. All right. So we keep it moving solid, right? So let me get to this. I said I wanted to start off with Newton, right? Let's jump straight on Newton real quick. So the question is, did Isaac Newton invest in the slave trade? We're going to talk about Newton, the South Sea Company, and the financial machinery of the Atlantic slavery. It's important because we want to talk science, but we don't want to talk about how science came to be. We want to talk about pseudoscience, right? But we don't want to talk about what's the difference between science and pseudoscience. Bottom line, Newton's financial connection to slavery. So we're going to deal with the financial connection. All right. Now, Newton was financially connected to the Atlantic slave trade through the South Sea Company stock. So he had stock in his company. Look it up. You say, well, maybe he didn't know about it. Oh, let's see. He invested in the company, right, with the Estito slave trade monopoly. So it's a monopoly. All right. Meaning they got a monopoly on the commerce of slavery. Right. Okay. Now, it wasn't his personal operation. Don't get that mixed up. But he definitely brought into a company that's invested in the slave. It's a investment supported direct operations. All right. Not proven knowledge. There's a strong inference, though. All right. Now, I want to talk about how he understood what they was doing. Remember I said they had a monopoly on it? Okay. So let's deal with this indirect connection. Newton owned South Sea Company stock, by 1713, establishing an indirect financial connection. The South Sea Company held the British Astino, am I saying it right? Astino, probably need to get that right, man. Monopoly to supply enslaved Africans. So he's supplying enslaved Africans, huh? How much do you think he knew about this company? Take a guess, right? Hold on, let me put this, hold on. 1 second. Yeah, how much did he know about the damn company? 1 second, give me 1 second here. One second. Second. All right, hold on. All right, can you hear me? All right. So that Jacinto system is a system. All right, I want to get this right. All right. And this is actually a royal monopoly on the damn slave trade. All right. So Newton likely knew of this public, watch this, connection given his financial legacy. Now let's talk about his financial legacy real quick. So there's no direct evidence to prove Newton personally commanded slave voyages or sold enslaved people. So we're not going to overwhelm it, right? We want to tell a history in an accurate, as accurately as possible. The pseudo will overreach. They'll take something like this and make the man a damn slave. I done seen it done before. Boy, we done argued about Mazinga with the angles of it. Oh, what's he slave? Now, timeline, core evidence. Key events linking Newton to the South Sea Company. See, I want to link him to the company. Now, the South Sea Company was formally formed. A Ceto slave trade monopoly assigned Newton acquired South Sea stock. So he bought stock. So that means this company is publicly traded. And whenever a company is publicly traded, you know what type of products and goods they're selling, point blank. And then if you have a monopoly on something, right, and you work for the mint, right, for your government, you know what the hell's going on. Ain't nowhere around that. Remember I talked about it being the global market, right? Now, 1720, the South Sea bubble crisis, Newton actively involved in stock matter. So he understood the stocks completely. 1722, Newton continued correspondence regarding the company's dividends. So he know how they getting their money. The context, Newton's investment coincided with the company's public link to Atlantic trade privileges, including the Asanto. That is a system, right? Now, evidence strength, assigning the claims. Hold on 1 second. Qualifying his historical support for key statements. The South Sea Company held slave trade privileges. Yeah, he would have understood that. About 98% he would have understood that. How? Because it's traded on the open market. How? Because it's part of the global economy. How? Because his company, the government gave him a monopoly. That's how. Newton owned the South Sea Company stock. Yep. We about 90% accurate on that. 96% accurate on that. He definitely owned that stock. Y'all can look it up. I'm going to give you a couple sources y'all can read your own. Damn near 80%, 70% likely knew of the connection. That's just being nice. Of course he knew of the damn connection, man. Just like the universities, just like the colleges I'm going to talk about, they all knew, right? This is during the scientific revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Nah, of course not. About 5% chance that Newton personally operated the trade. Of course not. All right. So he invested in the South Sea Company, a corporation whose government-backed trading privileges included the Santos slave trade monopoly. It says this make Newton financially connected to the Atlantic slave trade economy, although evidence does not show he personally operated the slave voyages. My fault. So Newton, we're not going to call Newton a slave trader. I remember people start calling, I don't even want to get into it. That is rehash the whole, the Zinga thing. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, yo. But he definitely made them damn indirect investments into this company. Remember, this man worked for the mint. So did he know about the slave trade connection? Yes. Newton held the stock in the Sea Company. The company that held the Santos slave trade monopoly. So of course he knew. And likely, yes, the company's slave trade privilege was public and central. All right, so we don't got no direct Newton quotes of him actually saying that, right? But we got direct evidence that this man had this damn stock. And by the way, he was definitely rich. Now watch this. So not a slave trader, no evidence to support that. There is indirect evidence connection, right? And no, he wasn't operating the damn business. Now watch this. Look, as a master of the Royal Mint, look this up. Master of the Royal Mint, Newton was financially astute and corresponded about transactions, making knowledge a strong damn inference. So do y'all know what the master of the Royal Mint is? He is control, you know, where they mint money, where they make money at, yo. So he working for the government. You ain't gonna be able to work for the government, the Royal Mint, be in charge of that, and not understand where the monies is going and coming. You're not going to have knowledge and stock and be rich and not know where your bread was coming from. Now, we know about Newton with his adding to the daggone scientific revolution, right? But we ain't know he added the bread to it, did you? You sure didn't, but he did. All right? So the use of enslaved people over slaves to emphasize the condition imposed, not inherited identity. So we want to talk about enslaved people. We don't want to call them slaves, right? We want to call them enslaved because we're just trying to emphasize the condition that was imposed on them. So it's not like they was walking, we just slaves. No, man, it was the condition that was imposed on them. We want to get that right. So some of the key sources include the Oxford, Newton, and the Mint. All right. Look that up. Type in Newton and the Mint. All right. You know when you mint coins, the money. Follow the money. How they said, follow the money. So we right there in that sweet spot. All right. Now, was Newton a scientist? Yeah. But more importantly, he was a natural philosopher the way he thought. And he was a European investor. And what did he invest in? The slave trade. Got a lot of his bread from that. That's a fact. So we never trying to scurry around the matter, right? Now, he may be the greatest person to some of y'all, but he's not to me. I told you who I'm feeling, Onesimus. So that is actually subjective. But I want to make sure we understand that this thing we call science, right, is tied to colonialism and slavery. scientific revolution is tied to the global economy. But you got to be global and you got to have the money to go global, don't you? So let's get a little more deep into the economy side of it. All right. I just wanted to touch them up a little bit. I felt like we was a little bit too, I want to talk about the man's whole life so I can get a thing of what he was thinking about. He was definitely thinking about that bread. Sure was, wasn't he? All right, we're almost out of here. So, the Atlantic World, Slavery and Modern Science. 1492, 1700, global economy, knowledge, transformation, and scientific development. You ain't got a whole lot of development without that damn bread, man. I'm telling you right now. Here's the central thesis. This study argues that the Atlantic encountered colonial expansion, slavery, and the emerging economy significantly shaped the development of modern science between 1492 and the 1700s. It transformed early modern natural knowledge through oceanic commerce and empire. Y'all got it, right? Oceanic. You gotta have the tools to go oceanic. See, there's been a problem for a while with the isolated narrative. And the community of skeptics, we are skeptical of everything. Well, how the hell did they get there? You got China had the knowledge, you had Africa had the knowledge. Why they was the ones to get there and had that rupture, right? That regime. What's the damn difference? The difference is they global, one, and they develop global markets. Now, traditional narratives of the scientific revolution often narrow the focus to eternal intellectual achievements. This approach, right, unemphasizes the crucial role of ships, ports, plantation, markets, printing houses, and shaping modern knowledge. Printing houses, plantations, markets, ports, and ships. You know, normally when we talk about scientific revolution, we leave out the damn plantations. Well, goddamn. We leave out the shipping companies. Well, goddamn, we won't do it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Not at all. We're going to put it right where it's supposed to be. Structure, interpretation, methodology. Scientific ideas are elevated by logic, calculation, and evidence. Conditions for ideas circulate are social and material. Knowledge requires correspondence, print, institutions, and trained communities. And all of them take money. Money talk and bullshit walk, don't it? This approach links intellectual context and social context, avoiding reductionism. Yeah, we ain't going to talk about where they got their money from. The scale of geography for evidence. It say the early modern period saw an increased scale, coordinated observation, standardized, and instrument use. There's them tools. Don't you know it costs money to make those tools? Better do. Knowledge increasingly originated from what? Ships, ports, colonial settlements, and observatories. They started building a lot of observatories. They had a lot of colonial settlements. And where do you think they was getting the money from? Ethical dimensions, a mixed legacy. Networks moving scientific specimens also moved enslaved people and extracted wealth. Yeah, we didn't get this in school, did we? You probably had to put that together. The development of modern science, right, was inextricably entangled with empire and slavery. You can't talk about the scientific revolution because it's definitely entangled with the empire, man. And the empire is dealing black gold. Scientific literacy demands respect for evidence. and the honest institutional history. So we ain't over here just talking about science, man. We want to give y'all the whole piece, man. We want to talk about the mindset. We want to talk about the thinking. We want to talk about the knowledge gathering, right? We want to talk about every single thing so we can understand what the hell we think we're getting ourselves into. The new world as an epistemic shock. The encounter with the Americas, and we didn't talk about this on the pseudo killers. We didn't talk about it on the community skeptics. We didn't talk about it on Silent Studios. We keep trying to tell you important parts of how we got here. The encounters with the Americas, right? Destabilized, inherited ancient knowledge, challenging classical descriptions of geography, natural history, and cosmology. This created a repeated mismatch between inherited and observed realities. Fostering an epistemic shock. Boy, we didn't talk about that so much, y'all should kind of really get it now. They say, damn, we thought it was only 3 continents. Africa, Asia, and Europe, right? But now we find these 2 other continents. And as we explored it, we found different types of flora and fauna. In plain English, animals and damn plants. And it caused an epistemic shock, and it made them break away from the authority of natural philosophy. Because they was like, damn, you mean they ain't know? We stood on that for 2,000 years. The early modern period saw a growth in fractal culture where reported occurrences gained credibility through witnessing print and institutions. The Atlantic world expanded this by multiplying sites for observations and making information management central to science. The Atlantic world expanding. Oceanic expansion demanded precise mathematical, cartographic, and astronomical knowledge for navigation. The high cost of air at sea spurred a social value on predictive measurements, mathematical tables, and improved instruments. In steps science. Now we can't be halfway there. Can't be halfway crook. We need to have science has predictive powers. Remember that? We can't lose money at sea getting lost. We need better navigation and we need astronomical precision, ladies and gentlemen. Now we got a reason to apply science. There's a financial reason to apply science now, more than any other time in history. And this is where they had the money to do it. The instruments cost money, the printing presses cost money, the institutions cost money, and guess what? They got goddamn plenty of it. Those that could navigate the open seas had plenty of money. And oh boy, you know they're going to fight over it. Now we need to make sure we got the war machine to back it. But guess what? We got the global economy and it's free labor. Maps became critical knowledge technologies for scientific representation, commercial ventures, military strategy, and political control. They transformed distinct places into governable spaces, linking scientific knowledge directly to empirical domination. You need some imperialism. Need some slaves. Now we can start to see the places we controlling on a damn map. We got global maps now. Man, we're in the midst of the scientific revolution. Colonial expansion fueled natural history. Colonial expansion fueled natural history, supplying Europe with new plants, animals, and materials. These collections gathered through unequal networks, unequal, like nobody else was doing it, not China, not Egypt, not Africa, not nowhere, but them damn colonial powers. This is why science matured, because it matured under the banner of the money, of the commerce, of the intercontinental travels. It matured on the backs of your ancestors because it was a global economy and the shit was free money, free labor. Colonial expansion fueled natural history, supplying Europe with new plants, animals, and materials. These collections gathered through unequal networks were closely tied to medicine, agriculture, commerce, and state power, transforming colonial materials into scholarly objects. Institutions, indigenous knowledge, and erasure. European science often relied on indigenous knowledge about local environments and practices because they the ones that know about it. They've been living there forever. They know about the plants. They know about the ecology because they part of it. They custom and their traditions and their spiritual social systems require them to know these things to have valuable offspring. But you got to be able to get to them, to shake them up and get the knowledge from them. However, European textual texts frequently one sec, hold on. Man. Anonymized. 1 second. Now, I mean, meaning they left it out. They made it you know what I mean? You anonymize something, you make it to be like anonymous, like you're not saying where the hell it came from. Let's just call it's called stealing shit. And oh, by the way, those who really understand scientific literacy understands that they still doing it right now in Africa. Right now, they going to the people, and people are actually doing scientific work in Africa. And I'm talking about Africans who went to college and universities, either in Africa or around the world. They publishing damn papers, and because they wasn't the ones that put in the finances, they leaving their names off the damn paper. However, European texts frequently anonymized and appropriated these contributions. Science must be understood through circulation of contact zones, not just European diffusion. We got to expand our minds, man. We got to get the piece down. Remember I said science is a human endeavor? Yeah, but we ain't know a lot of them humans was colonized and forced. Hell nah, by hook or crook is how science came to be. Dirty game. The Atlantic slave economy generated immense wealth through what? Coerced labor, particularly from commodities like sugar and tobacco. You know how they grew them tobacco fields in South America, right? You know how they took that coffee from Ethiopia, I learned that the other day, and planted it in Americas. It say this capital supported what, y'all? Institutions vital for what? Scientific work, such as universities, printing networks, and observatories. Slave economy material is foundational. I challenge somebody to push back on this. Let's have a healthy conversation. Capital, instruments, infrastructure, y'all. This is how you get the goddamn going science. You know, science ain't free. That's why the Nation of Islam talk crazy about the vaccines, but they ain't spending no damn money to send nobody to school. Couple 100,000 to send a couple people to school. You could send 3 scientists to school. Immunology and virology. Couple 100,000, get their doctorates. Build a lab. Don't got to be no giant damn institution, but build a nice lab and test the damn vaccines. But that take capital, and they put their money in other places. That take instruments and infrastructure. Scientific knowledge requires instruments, telescopes, microscopes, and quadrants. It's a infrastructure like observatory, laboratories, and libraries were essential. Where the hell you think they got the money from? Unlimited amount. Commercial wealth encouraged instrument production. Commercial wealth encouraged instrument production and technical skills, enabling new forms of observation. AE, scientific revolution. AE, an explosion of knowledge. Explosion of a new way of thinking. Royal Society, institutional credibility. The Royal Society, founded in 1660, formalized collective witnessing, publications, and evaluations. It gathered empirical information demonstrating how experimental philosophy and empirical networks overlapped in practices and priorities. Bacon, method, utility. Francis Bacon championed organized investigation of nature, linking knowledge to improvement and power. His philosophy legitimized collaborative, useful, empirical inquiry that supported medicine, navigation, and colonial administration. Commerce, empiricism. Commercial practices such as the need for reliable information on weights, prices, and routes fostered empirical habits. You want to make sure their bread is right, bro. This commercial culture, attention to particulars, and documentation overlap significantly with the fractal culture of early modern science. Wallstein's world system analysis highlights how scientific institutions develop within an equal structure of core and periphery regions. This framework emphasizes how state power, capitalist accumulation, and synthesized useful knowledge for empire. Scientific revolution, uneven transformation. Scientific revolution was not a sudden, clean break, but an uneven transformation of competing knowledge practices. Colonial expansion created both pressures. Colonial expansion created both pressures and opportunities, making certain questions urgent and methods valuable. This resulted in a long transformation in standards of evidence, instrumentation, and collective verification. Timeline. Atlantic scientific transformation. Key milestones. 1492. Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Columbus arrives in the Americas, marking the start of the sustained Atlantic encounter. 1543. Copernicus publishes De Revolutionibus, proposing the heliocentric model. 1600. Founding of the English East India Company, expanding global trade and colonial ventures. 1609, Galileo makes significant astronomical observation using the damn telescope. 1660, founding of the Royal Society in London, institutionalizing experimental philosophy. 1687, Isaac Newton publishes The Principia Mathematica, unifying physics and celestial mechanics. And don't forget, he invested in that damn company. Don't forget it. Visual model, economy, institutions, and science. Causal structure, development. Atlantic expansion created new problems, right? Navigation, opportunities, resources for knowledge. Slave economy and extraction generated vast capital and commodities through slave labor. Capital support. Funded institutions, instruments, printing, and commercial networks. Go back. The capital, for the most part, came from what? The slave economy. Institutions stabilized. Formalized evidence enabling durable and systematic scientific practices. Your shit gotta be stable, y'all. You know how it is, yo. If you ain't got no bread at the house, yo, shit ain't stable, bro. Your relationship with your peoples ain't stable. Your kids getting on your damn nerves. And you running around half crazy if you ain't got no bread. Food, clothing, and shelter and protection of that has been the standard for life on planet Earth. And I said life. Modern science encourages this complex interaction led to the what? The robust development of modern damn science. Newton and natural philosophy. Newton's work, accumulation of early modern transformation, occurred within a world shaped by printing, patronage, instruments, and expanding commercial interests. His work gained authority within the Atlantic world's institutional and practical context. Modern science developed 1492-1700 was not an isolation intellectual event, but a global historical process. It emerged through what? The intrinsic interplay of reason and empire. You know, Shaka Zulu had an empire, right? Right. Get down or lay down. That's what empires do. You know, the Nubians had an empire, right? They had a war machine. They actually controlled all of Egypt and a vast part of the damn Middle East. Their empire was bigger than the damn Egyptians. They had an empire, man. They had those daggers, right? They had those iron daggers. They actually was flourishing in the Iron Age when Egypt was not. We never talk about that. But any reason, empire, observations, and commerce, mathematics, navigation, and institution and extraction. Extraction of what? Mineral wealth and that damn black gold. New York's municipal slave market. You can go right to Wall Street, Pearl and Water Street, a market that auctioned enslaved people of African ancestry was established by the Common Council Law, November 30th, 1711. This slave market was in use until 1762. Slave owners wanting to hire out enslaved workers, which include people of Native American ancestry, as day laborers, also had to do so at that location. In 1726, the structure was renamed the meal market because corn, grain, and meals, critical ingredients to colonial diet, were also exclusively traded. That's the actual sign right there. All right. You can go right down Pearl and Water Street and see the damn sign. That's the actual sign. If you're in New York, go see that. Man, did you know that black gold, your ancestors, was the first thing traded? On the daggone market. They was investing in slavery. Man, but there you have it. Now that we understand the history of science, we have elevated ourselves to recognizing exactly what it was and what it was not. It's important for us to know our history and where the hell we at. We study the past to know where the hell we going. Had a whole lot of people, all the indigenous people had signs. Homie Records had signs. The Bees had signs. Oh, yeah, right. Right. Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. Better have vast money, and you better have a reason for spending that damn money to make the damn money back. Better have a global market, and you better have some free labor to back you. You better be able to build institutions. Better have unlimited resources. Scientific revolution, slavery, and colonization, ladies and gentlemen. Know who the hell you are, man. I always tell my kids, I say, man, your best weapon is being your damn self, man. Not playing Native American, not doing this, not doing that, but knowing who the hell you is, man. Because if you don't know who you is, you don't know where the hell you at. If you think you're damn Native American, you thinking that you was here already, lost. If you don't got scientific literacy, you don't know who the hell to vote for. Your civic duties aren't intact. You don't make the mistake and think that I'm saying we should not participate in science. Too late now. The genie's out the bottle, ladies and gentlemen. You got to participate in science. When you know better, you do better. Let me drop the link, man. Make sure y'all show some love, man. If y'all got some questions in the chat, man. All right. Come on, Logic. Relax, man. That ain't what Hendrix said. He wasn't talking about that. He was talking about the word science. Oh, wow, no. Hey, man, look. Y'all got some questions, man. Hit the daggone super chat. Right? Show some love, man, for the presentation, man. All that's important, man. Focus on what's really going on, man. Hate to tell you around here, yo, we breaking away from the old regime. You just got to, man. You got to break away, right? We sit there, we heard what our elders said. Got tired of staring them in their face and sitting at their daggone feet. We got the hell up and we say we're going to stand on their damn shoulders. But to stand on their shoulders is to get rid of the mistakes they made and advance the information and knowledge. That comes straight out of the mouth of daggone Sheikh Diop. I wonder if I could find that. Because he did say that, you know. He said people going to, the youth is going to come after him and going to challenge what he talked about and move this information forward. Sure did, didn't he? Let me see if I can find it. Sure did. Shoot. That ain't it. No. Let me go ahead and drop this link, though, while I look for that real quick, man. Yeah, come on, man. See, we got the scammers in the chat starting scamming already. Just stop making up shit. Just make up shit. Yeah, we ain't gonna read it though. Yeah, them super chats range from $1 to whatever the hell you want to give. You want your dang on thing read, man. You hit that link and talk about it though. Free to the public. Hit that link, it's free. But they gonna talk that talk. But they ain't gonna be able to walk that walk though, is they, man? Nah, I ain't never be able to do that. Ain't just like to be chatty and patty and talk that talk. But that vigor fades when you hit on this damn panel because you got to show something. You got to be able to verify what you talked about out your mouth. The Twitter fingers, you know what I mean? Got to be able to handle that, man. He wouldn't know. Alex P, he wouldn't know at all. Don't let him talk you to death, man. Man, we're about 53 minutes into this, man. Hour into it, man. Hit the link, man. Jump up on the pad, yo. Yeah. Demonstration beats conversation all day long. Hit the damn link. Yeah, if you got that heart. I keep the heart of a lion all day, every day, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure do. Matter of fact, these conversations been so damn good, man. We done got a whole new understanding of what science is, man. Trust me, because we do that work around here. Hey, be on the lookout. Gonna have a primatologist on. Be on the lookout. Juju sitting on Mount Kilimanjaro. Hootie-hoo! I'm over there on Mount Olympus. Hootie-hoo! She can hear me. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, all day, every day, man. Yeah. So, man, I appreciate all the support that everybody giving, man. Let's take a second out and drop the link, right? Let's take a cash app break, man. See who shows some love, man. See what we're going to do right here, man. Take a little slight break right here, man. Y'all show some damn love, man. You know how we do it around here, man. Keeping that thing fire, 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 man. Y'all know it, man. Doing what we got to do, man. Staying away from the damn pseudos, too. Because them pseudos, boy, they be, boy. Yeah, stay away from the pseudos, yo. They're going to talk. They're going to be scared, though. They ain't going to never walk that walk, yo. They're going to be scared to death. Yeah, they ain't going to never. Move straight.
Yeah. Look. Hey, cash app, cash app. Baltimore. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cash app, don't let it run you. Money for the best, but it never feel honey. Cash app, dreams get so fast. If you don't own your time, you just rent your past. Cash app, straight full of flex. Real life hit hard when the rent come next. Cash app, tool not God. Use it, don't lose it, keep your head on top. Lend a bill, lend a pay me now. Everybody yell, get it like a sacred house. Timeline full of blessed, but the stress still lurks. Same folks posting gas, still drowning in hurt. Explosions of cash and the camera flash, but the lights cut off when you can't make it last. This ain't a trick, but it move like a spell. Type in the amount for that dopamine swell. Quick tap, quick send, quick high, quick drop. Then you back in the cold when the real don't stop. I done seen love turn transactional quick. Send some in the DM like that's all it is. Cash app, don't let it run you. Don't let it run you. Cash app, don't let it run you. Don't. Hard work, yeah, I respect that. But rest ain't weakness, I protect that. Cause money earn me nothing if your soul get thin. If you're always up next, tell me eat when you win. They selling hustle like it's peace in the pack. But peace don't come from a green little stack. So send when you can, look out for your kin. But don't let the app decide how you feel within. Set them rules, don't be ruled by the buzz. Real love is a call, not a what's up, cuz. Cash app, 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 don't let it run you. Don't let it run you. Cash app, don't let it run you. Don't.
Man, cash app, man, show some love, man. You know we like to get at least 5 a show, right? Appreciate all the support. Do what you can do. Want your questions answered, hit the damn super chat. All right? Yeah, you know how we do it right here, yo. Yeah, because ain't nothing moving but the cash app. Y'all know what it is, man. That's just some love right there, man. Pick up the Black Panther. Felicia Bennett. What it do, what it do, what it do. What it do. Stay Fulton Ave in the building. Yeah, folk now in the building. All right, man. I'm gonna give y'all a couple more minutes to hit that link, man. What y'all doing, man? Man, we need to have that daggone hit the button show, man. Talk about anything, man. What you gonna do, Cedric? What they gonna do? What they gonna do? I said, what you gonna do? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's been an interesting week. The world going crazy, right? And you ain't gonna get it if you ain't literate. Gotta be literate, man. Telling you. You gotta keep your head on a swivel and you got to stay literate. That's the only way you're gonna get through this, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. If you ain't literate, man, and what you doing, yo, it's a problem, man. What y'all reading, man? I'm gonna tell you what I'm reading right now, yo. Listening to it. All right. I'll tell you what I'm listening to. Get it. It's a good one right here. So I'm listening to. Find this for y'all real quick. Mm-hmm. This one is Sosa favors guns, germs, and steel. Give you a little peep into the lives of hunter-gatherers, right? Mm-hmm. Then, let me get this title right on here. Mm-hmm. All right, where's my daggone? Did I knock it off the daggone thing? What the hell? Man. I can't even find it. Listen to the damn great courses. I ain't listening to that. Damn. This is. That ain't the one. Damn. Shit. Not that one. Where the hell? Oh, hell, I can't even find it on the daggone thing, man. I just started it. That was that. That ain't it. Well, hell. I don't know where the hell is that. Damn. I'm listening to Guns, Germs, and Steel. And what's the damn other? Not adaptable. Is it adaptable? I think it might be adaptable. Yup, it's adaptable. Yup. Damn. Hold on. Adaptable. Hold on. Let me get it right. It is by PhD, Dr. Herman. Yep, adaptable. That's a good one. Y'all gotta check that out, man. Let me drop this link one more time, man. What y'all doing, man? What y'all scared, man? I done dropped the link 100 damn times, yo. Yeah, Judah, I'm put you out, Judah. Keep talking shit. I'll put you out, boy. Put you out. I done dropped the link 100 times, man. The link is in there, man. We got the goal. See you in there. Kick door low. And then start messing with beating up people. Get them. Difference between me, messed up a word. I know the damn definition of the word. All day, every day. Kick door.
Peace.
What it do? Kick door. What it do, man?
Oh, nah, man. Just saw you was live just now, man. I didn't even know you hit the button.
I know y'all niggas ain't trying to know we hit the button. Y'all sneaking.
I already know.
Listen to that damn new album drop is what y'all doing.
Iceman. It's chilly today, man.
Mm-hmm.
Freezing.
Put everybody on freeze.
I've been cold all day, man.
You listen to any of the music yet, or you ain't messing with it? You just talking?
Nah, I listened to 2 albums out of the 3. Both of them hard. So I mean, yeah, I
Decent.
mean, you can't hate on great music, man. You can't hate on greatness.
Nah, you can't hate on
You know what I'm
great.
saying? He better than Mike at this point, man. He got
Oh,
Mike beat.
wow.
Michael Jackson, a thing of the past.
I was jumping. God, I knew you was gonna figure out a way to mess that up.
I'm
But
just
he
saying,
is.
man.
He is there.
He stole the glove, man. He the glove holder now, man.
Give me that glove. Put on the album cover.
Already. Nah, it's a pretty good album though. I know you'll enjoy it. You like that type of music.
Yeah, I like all kinds. I like it here. I like the hip hop part to it. I like the club music to it. I like it. I like the range, man. I like listening to good music, yo.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
indeed.
Mm-hmm.
What you was on know what the topic is, man. I just hit on here for
Oh,
support, man.
scientific revolution, slavery, and colonization. I just tied it all together in a nice little,
True indeed.
nice little
We ain't on the
quote.
other joint, right? We on your joint, right?
Yeah, we're on our joint.
All right. I was just
No,
making
we're
sure.
on the skeptics because you'll start acting crazy.
Making sure. Sunchild in the building. What's up, brother Sunchild?
Hey y'all, I won't be long. I'm in the middle of something, but kind of intrigued with this conversation today, science and slavery and so on. Not sure if I'm getting it right, but it seems like you're saying that science was as integral to the to colonialism as a religion was. And I'm just trying to gain clarity.
I ain't saying nothing about religion. You made that
Yeah,
up.
I did, but I just made that to say how integral science and the scientific revolution and scientific development was
To slavery.
to colonialism.
I agree.
If you understand the question.
Yep. That you didn't ask the question yet.
Okay. Well, I guess the question is, do you agree that the development of the scientific revolution, colonialism was integral to the development of the scientific revolution?
Yeah, of course. When we say colonialism
And vice versa.
I agree. You need to because the slavery is the money. Then you got to go to different lands. You got to get their raw material. You got to get their knowledge. You got to get all that. Yeah, sure is.
Right, and perhaps they made the indigenous people made for good specimen for scientific investigations.
Yeah, they put people in zoos and all that. It ain't funny, dog.
I'm on the human zoo.
Yeah, the human zoo.
Okay.
Yeah, yo, they did everything.
Yeah, and you mentioned science and empire. You mentioned science and empire, and science, from what I understand, I would call it a marriage with science and empire. And I was wondering if you agree with that. When were science and empire divorced?
Empires use science, bro. Ain't no getting around that.
Empires are more successful when they use science.
Yeah, humans period are more successful when they use science. So why wouldn't the empire most money use it? And they war machine.
So they're still married. Does that mean that science is political?
It's tied to your power. It's tied to everything, bro. Not an issue though. Remember, science is not evil. Remember that at all.
Well, it can be. Science isn't evil, but people are evil, and they may use science in their way, in certain ways.
People can misuse science.
Yeah, people can misuse.
Yeah,
like nukes, like nuclear bombs. That's made with science.
Yep, they can misuse it. Or you can
right.
heat people's houses. Or you can heat people's houses.
Or you can heat people's houses.
Right. And also, the standard of what can be called science can also be political as well, based on empire and who has authority over certain fields of study, right?
You said what?
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, you gotta slow it down here on this. Hey, Sabio, what the hell is you doing? I know you smoking some good weed because it's Friday, man. Slow your ass down. You'll get your chance. Go ahead, Sunchild, get your point out. And then we're gonna move on.
Let's see. What did I ask? Is science can be political also in the sense that I'm sorry, the brother Sabio threw me off.
He said no, but it is part of power. I can give you a clear example.
But
Go ahead.
I remember the question.
Go ahead, Sabio. Restate the question for me.
So your question was, if science is political, then the meaning of science can also be political based on empire, right? And those in power, right? That's what you were hearing.
I ain't understand that at all. That was incoherent.
Yeah, very good, Sabio. No, he reminds me
That's
of
what
the
he
point,
meant.
actually. Yeah.
Man,
What I'm saying is that as far as the idea of what is called science, right, that can be seen as a political idea as well.
so how
Because empire wants to have authority over knowledge and so on, and how it is
No. Hold on, stop. I gotta stop you for 1 second. Let me show you. This is something you gotta get. That'll actually make for bad science, yo. And I can give you a clear example of Robert Sinclair. But let me show you this right here. This is the only thing that matters right here. The authority of the phenomenon. So if the empire come in and start making shit up, the shit gonna get falsified, yo. Now, in the case of Robert Sinclair, he was actually trying to figure out the age of the earth. All right. But his research put him in square in front of the guns of the oil companies because he recognized that there was a issue with the leaded gas that was putting too much lead in the atmosphere and was killing humans. And he figured out, as he was trying to get the age of the earth and measuring the lead, he recognized it was too much damn lead, and he wanted to know where the hell it came from. He created a clean room. It was still all the lead was still in there, and he was like, "Where the hell is it coming from?" And then he found out the shit was coming from the gas. So the companies that were supporting him, giving him money, remember that money, giving him money, they broke away from him. They brought their own scientists and say, "No, it ain't exactly the lead. It ain't that." Okay, 8 years later, right? They had hearings, and they're like, "Man, people are dying. It's a problem." They say, "Let's go get the expert on that." Rob Sinclair. So yes, they pay scientists, right? I don't know if they fudged the numbers, whatever they did, right? But 8 years later, right, the data panned out. So you can skew the numbers, do all you want, but at the end of the day, that's why I use Robert Sinclair. At the end of the day, yo, them damn numbers and the authority of the phenomenon going to always shine through. So yes, people can hide this shit, do all they want to do, be evil. They can do all that, but the fundamental foundation, right, of science, man, is one: scientists are some of the most honest people out there. Why? Because you make one mistake, your whole career can be gone. You fudge them damn numbers, yeah, you're gonna be like them scientists that tried to play that game with that leaded gas. Now we know for sure that you can go to the pump and get unleaded gas, and that's based off of Robert Sinclair. There you have it, bro. So we hide nothing around here, bro, because we don't gotta play no games. Go ahead. Where you at, Sabio? You want to say something? Guns don't shoot by themselves. I like that, Gideon. Big up the Gideon Pseudo Kill Official. Go ahead.
What up, Ankh? Good show. Great information. I like how you how in the sources that you was reading, it showed how them thinking that it was 3 continents was an epistemic shock.
Shock, nigga. What the hell is this?
Regime. What?
The hell?
They had to get rid of all their maps, and everything that they had written had to be rewritten. What? The whole world had changed, but they had science. This is what these people want us to think and argue about. These people who thought it was 3 continents, and then how you keep tying up the connections with the transitions throughout history, through the stages that's being missed. You can't miss the stages of change and the developmental stages. Like, I don't know if people pay attention, but when you was talking about the Middle Ages, 13th, 14th, 12th century, the House of Wisdom. Why don't people think about the House of Wisdom and all the scientific inventions that was coming out of the House of Wisdom?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These are all stages, and they all fell to different empires at different times. So there was developments throughout these stages that led to where we are today. And without all that, we'll still be thinking it's 3 continents, because people thought it was 3 continents. And something else that Richard Carrier said in his book, Science in the Christian Empire, Science, Ancient Rome, whatever it is, I can't remember. But he said, for 1,500 years, science stopped due to Roman and Christianity. Science stopped, and had it not stopped, the world might be far more advanced than it is.
Yeah,
Because
Rome didn't care about science at all.
Rome didn't
They
care
thought it was
about
magic. They thought it was magic.
thought it
They
was
ruled the
magic.
world with technology and
Yep.
engineering. People don't know that, but they did. They had water going up the hill. That was engineering feat. The aqueducts, the Roman aqueducts, they ran all over the empire, up and down, running water. Wasn't
Yeah.
science.
People
Nope.
need to some of these books.
They ain't gonna read it. Where you at? Preem, get the money, get the knowledge. What's up, man? Anonymous Preem.
Yo, bro.
Hey, man.
Hold on. All right, yeah. Um, this this is a great topic. This is a great topic for real, because you went in detail on the modern times, but if you look back and you look back at all advancements in knowledge, all advancements in technology, all advancements in tools, all advancements in engineering, they pretty much followed whoever was an empire at the time. You know what I mean? Some of them were concurrent, like, all like, people forget, all while this stuff is going on in what they call the Middle East, that China was still an empire. You know what I mean? So they were making their advances, because we went to Asia. Well, not we, but they went to Asia. That's where they originally found gunpowder. It's just that they, in Europe, they used the gunpowder more for weapons than, the ceremonial type of stuff that the Asians was using it for. Um, and you could go down the line. You could just go down the line. All of the advancements, they kind of follow the population centers, where there's a huge gathering of people, and where there's organization to the point where there's a government. The government is efficient, the people's basic needs are being met, and there's a level of expansion. They may conquer the neighboring territories and annex them and things of that nature, but really the advancements follow that paradigm. That, what I mean, it's the civilization, and then the advancements come because people have got time to sit around. There's certain people, that's their job. In ancient Egypt, it was the priest's job to do that, for quote unquote, lack of a better word, scientific advancement or whatever. For increases in knowledge and finding out new things and building and things of that nature. So it just go down the line. You just go down the line in Persia, you know what I mean, in the House of Wisdom, and the rise of the Ottomans or the Islamic Empire, however you want to term it. There was a level of stability and economic abundance that allowed that level of intellectual curiosity to flourish. And same thing with Greece. Greece was, they were doing that. It's no coincidence that all of their advancements in natural philosophy coincide with them kind of taking over the Mediterranean, or the portion of the Mediterranean that they were, that was near, that was close to them. So this is not a new thing. It just so happens that, they bumped into the new world, discovered, and that pretty much just opened up the world, opened up access to those resources. And those resources, when you bring those resources back and you add that to the European economy, that's money. They still existing off of that today. First world, second world, third world countries. So that's how powerful that time in history was. And you cannot minimize the impact of that, just not on science, but just everything. Just everything, because that time period laid the foundation for the whole modern world.
Man, you said a mouthful right there, bro. They still living off that bread. They laid the foundation, bro.
Yeah, so it just is what it is, and to deny that and try to make a false equivalency with things that was going on back in the day, where those economies, they were pretty much limited to, they were just pretty much limited to where they could roll to, and that was pretty much it. And then when you're really talking about when you're really talking about advancements advancements in technology, that's pretty much how all of them get taken down. The next group of people come along, and they step it up, and more than likely, it's, as time goes by, it's an increase in weapons technology. If you really peep it, that's really what's driving it. The science of warfare. That's really who could organize armies and organize resources and get the armies there, and then the supply lines that determines how far your military reach is, how far you can supply your armies and things of that nature. So it's all tied into the economics and the stability that you could provide for your civilization in your time.
Yeah, and then like you said, like Leonardo da Vinci, he was making machines and stuff for plays and things of that nature. And he also worked as an engineer, right, for the military. And so there were some things that the Greek philosophers had said that he recognized was just wild and not true, right? Like the path of a bullet coming out of a cannon, right? He said it wasn't slanted and then dropped straight down to the ground like the Greeks talked about objects. But then they dropped. He was like, no, that's not true. They could see it with their own eyes, right? And they was making these weapons so they couldn't go with the play. You get it? Like reality make you stand all the way up sometimes. All the time, for real. Like people in chat, they running their mouth, talking crazy, right? Like V-Force. Yo, you a pseudo V-Force. But you will never hit that damn link. You're not gonna never get your questions answered because you gotta hit that super chat. But we're gonna make you famous for a minute. You're a pseudo. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Back to our regular scheduled programming. JJ, what's up?
Hey,
what's on your mind? What's on your mind?
I ain't gonna lie, I stole that from you. Remember the time back in the day, and we had been going back and forth on Facebook, and you like, hey JJ, you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna debate. I'm gonna make you a famous loser. You remember that?
Yeah, make you famous.
I got that from you. I ain't gonna lie. But man, I got some good news for us. Because like when JJ elevate, I bring the ones that I've been dealing with for a long time. Sparks Media Network, our executive producer, reached out to me. He been watching us, and if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So what we gonna do? We finna get it on a network on Roku, and we're gonna have sponsorship. You see what I'm saying? Me and Kareem are supposed to be meeting with the owner of that network.
Yeah, who?
Kareem and I gonna be meeting with the owner of the network.
Kareem.
Sister Kareem. Yeah, and I already talked to Sid about it. on different stuff we're gonna be doing.
Where's
So
Karima?
that's one of my partners. Well, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I'm gonna bring you Ankh. Cedric's me and Cedric already talked about him. I have him in the streets where he at, interviewing people live, where you go to homeless shelters, where you go to people that's addicted on drugs, things of that nature. I'm gonna be doing the same thing in Denver. And then I know I'm gonna have people out there. But what they really want from us is these debates. So all that crashing out and all that stuff y'all been talking about, Jay didn't do. They seen me. They reached out to me. Sparks Media Network, and I'm bringing y'all with me. I'm bringing y'all with me.
I'm gonna send my lawyer, yo. I don't want to have no conversation with him. I'm gonna send my lawyer to talk business, yo.
Okay, let's do that. But I'm just saying, I'm just telling you the blueprint because we're gonna have sponsorship.
In the middle of a damn live show, yo. You tripping? Don't even make sense now.
What?
You supposed to talk to me, talk to me
Listen,
later.
I talked to you about it. This ain't even been the formalities yet. I'm just giving you the vision. Now, if you want to knock it now, when I fucking blow up, man, I don't want to hear shit. Oh, okay, now you want to be nice to JJ.
Nigga,
I don't want to hear shit.
I'm simply saying this is an inappropriate time to talk business. We in the middle. No, for me it is.
Okay.
Talk to somebody else. I don't want to hear it. I'm starting to think you scamming me at a certain point. Nobody.
Okay, well, I'm gonna leave you behind. I'm gonna take Cedric with me.
Take Cedric. Right. Yeah, I think you're scamming. There you have it. There you go. Get him out of there. Yeah, what's up, Lex? What's on your mind?
Want to know if you ever heard of the delayed choice experiment?
Nah, what that got to do with the show and the scientific revolution and slavery and colonization? I don't know. What the hell are you talking about? What about that? Title of the show. What about that?
Yeah, well, it has to do with
no, it don't.
Science and the understanding of science.
Nah, I'm good. Don't worry about it, yo. Say that for somebody else. I don't feel like playing that game today. Stay on topic. Any questions around scientific revolution, slavery, and colonization? Anything around that? Yeah, what's up?
Slavery propelled the scientific revolution because of their financial and economic means and things like that.
Is that a question?
Didn't they also have a mentality that followed that mentality that they had that didn't influence their scientific analysis?
No, that's not science. That's when they produce pseudoscience. You just said it. Yeah, they had a mentality and they put it in their work and they produced pseudoscience. And it's called scientific racism. They was wilding all over the place. Wrong.
So are you saying that mindset is gone? No.
Humans got mindsets. You got evil people, you got racist people, you got blackologists, you got intelligent people, you got intelligent blackologists, intelligent racists, you got everything. It's all over the place. But science is the great equalizer. Because you can lie. You know how they say, yo, white people might lie, black people might lie, but them damn numbers don't. That's why I gave you Robinson.
So we're not talking about all humans, though. We're talking about a specific group of humans that sparked the scientific revolution, the Europeans, because of
the world. It was the world that sparked it. It wasn't just Europeans, remember? It's a global endeavor.
Yeah, but it was, from what I was listening to, it was the slave trade and colonialism that gave Europeans the means to
money, resources, and what else did it give them? That's important.
What else?
The access to land.
Experimental subjects.
Yep, they can
experiment. Like when they used to, like, kind of how they brought about the what they called the OBYGN, right? They was experimenting on black women, right?
Yep, they did all that. Yep.
So is that all of that justified now because of?
Of course not. That makes no sense to say that. Of course it's not justified, bro. It was evil. It was out of order.
But if it didn't happen, then that's like saying we wouldn't be where we at in science.
You mean if they didn't illegally? No, that don't make no sense, man. Because you'll get plenty.
That don't make sense.
I'm in the middle of fucking talking, sunchild. Stop cutting me off, bro. Knock it off, man. You gonna get your chance? Come on, bro. Be studious in this conversation. Relax. Come on, man. We're not doing all that. Now,
You're
I'm
right. You're right.
offering up.
You're right, brother.
Yeah,
You're right.
I'm offering. No, don't give me I'm right. That's bullshit. That's another bullshit tactic. Oh, you right, nigga. You know better. Come on, man. Come on, yo. Let's keep it right here. Now, I'm simply saying that that's some bullshit to experiment on people against their own will. You got plenty of people who say, I volunteer. Okay, but that's not the way that came into being. And just because you had some wild people that enslaved people and experiment, they not only experimented on black people, hell, they experimented on other people. They experimented on their damn self, the crazy houses and all that. They did all that. And what? That got nothing to do with science and the scientific data and scientific literacy, which is how we gain knowledge today. Don't got nothing to do with that. So you can't discredit that. That would be a wild pseudo judo attempt.
No, what I'm saying is
wild people don't got nothing to do with science itself. Science ain't a human being, bro. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of gaining knowledge. It's a system. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead, Sunchild. Let Sunchild go. Go ahead, Sunchild.
Yeah, and I would say that system, based on the methods, it would naturally cause you to go out and experiment on living things. And that brings me to the question of at what point, if any,
what? Oh, you said what?
You
said what? Science make you go out and experiment on living. No, it make you go out, and experiment on living things. But that don't mean you gotta be cruel to living things. Do it.
Right. But the question, I want to ask.
Hold on, because you said something and you tried to run by 100 miles an hour, and you want to plant a little teeny crumb in the minds of those who ain't there yet. So let me.
If you'd give me a chance, I'd make it a whole loaf.
Let me blow the crumb out.
No, if you give me a minute, I'll make it a loaf.
Makes people want to understand the natural world, and in the natural world, there are living organisms. There's also phenomena. But that don't mean you got to go step on the head of a cat or shoot a black person and cut them open. It doesn't mean that. That's what you're thinking. Go ahead, Sunchild.
But there are sacrificed at the altar of science, if you will, annually today. So and that was the question: is when did the transition from human experiments move?
Say that again.
Well, the question I'm asking, when did the
what?
Yeah, I said all right,
let's get today. I heard you. Let's talk about Tuskegee experiment. Want to talk about that?
No. I have a question first, if I may. It should be a quick answer.
Didn't you answer the question? I thought you asked.
No.
So you said
no. I didn't ask the question yet. You cut me off before I got to the question.
You said when did what?
When did science make a decisive split between human experiments to animal experiments?
Right. And I'm saying you ain't that the question you just asked?
Yes.
Why you thought that wasn't the question? It was.
Okay, I may have misunderstood. I apologize.
Yeah, in modern times, I tried to give you an example, but you added on the animals. When they start to realize it was inhumane, and you say, "Damn, it should have been known it was inhumane." Huh? Yeah, a lot of things seem like you would think people would know. And I'll give you an up to date. Come on, what about the Tuskegee experiment? What about that?
Yeah, that's one example.
That's human beings, right?
Yeah.
And they unlawfully, right? They experimented on them, and you know what the illegal thing was? Not that they was had gathered them in, and they had syphilis, and they was studying. They was trying to figure out syphilis, right? That wasn't the illegal part. The illegal part was that the advent of penicillin, and it didn't treat them people, was the illegal part. That fits right to your question. When did they stop? What we do understand is there has been travesties through time, right? Those people, families got paid for that. I know it's a consolation prize, bro. And I'm saying that was wrong and that was evil. But once again, that's the human beings that was doing it. It's not science, though. Right? The same
Right,
people.
I understand.
Hold on,
Yeah,
hold
but
on,
I think it's kind of
hold on,
strange to
Hold on.
separate science
Hold
from the
on.
practice of science.
Hold on. The same people that created penicillin had enough sense to give penicillin to people that wasn't in the daggone experiment. They were just racist and out of order, yo. So you can't never account for that, son child. You can't make that a reason why we gonna throw away science. That
No,
doesn't
I'm not suggesting it. And in the same argument can be made for, say, Christianity, where they say the evils and how Africans became Christians was worth it. So in the same breath, you can
Hold
say,
on, what? No,
that the advances we've made in science,
that's
because
not,
of the advances we've made in
no, that's
science, it
stupid.
was worth it.
No, that's
Right.
stupid.
But I would
You
also, and
That's what I
this
was
might be
trying to
the
say
last thing I
earlier.
say.
know what I thought you was gonna say, son child? I thought you was gonna say that. That's like people saying Christianity is evil. That's what I thought you were gonna say. It's the
No,
people.
a lot. Yeah, no. But even some African Americans or Africans in general would say it was worth it because our souls were saved.
Yeah.
And the idea of science saving us as well that argument can be made. But the last thing I'd like to say, and I'll let the brother Lex continue.
Now we're gonna let
Is that this is the first time that I've considered the scientific revolution, considering the word revolution as usually assimilated to something violent, and through that violence, a change occurs. This is the first time I've seen the scientific revolution as such, that it was really attained through violence as well. And I thought that was very interesting. I might just hit your Cash App for that.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you, bro. Hey, Francis, what's up, man? Talk to us. What's on your mind, bro?
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What role, if any, do continental African leaders play in the continuation of colonization and that sort of mentality?
And man, hell, they play a role. It take good leaders, man, to run a country, and it take organization, government. It take all the things that were stripped when they colonized Africa, yo. You know what I'm saying? Maturity. It takes a lot of things. So African leaders play a role, just like we play a role in our own demise. You know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't point that to be the daggone problem. The problem was colonization, yo. So let's put the blame squarely what it is. But at a certain point, you become responsible for changing your own conditions, not the people that put you in them damn conditions. I'm going to say this again. There becomes a point in time, right, where the people that put you in those conditions, they're not actually responsible. They could be, they could help you out, but they don't have to. You become the one that is critical in changing pace and changing your mind. Point blank. So yes, at this point in time, the onus is squarely at the feet of those indigenous communities. That's why they stepping up now. They choosing their business partners. They getting better leadership.
Right,
Right?
exactly.
Because they learning. Yeah, we're gonna blame colonialism first, yo. The slave and all that, it underdeveloped goddamn Africa. Let's not act like it didn't. It did.
I hear you, but when you have leaders who are crying that Europeans are taking their resources and they're still proliferating these bullshit agreements, then you have to blame them. If you're still going to say, I'm going to let these people make our currency and I'm going to deal with these undervalued agreements, then it's their fault because some of them are still doing that. And
Yeah.
for doing it.
That's your fault. But the damn agreement shouldn't even be there. You shouldn't be scamming in the first place.
But a lot of them are still making an excuse that they signed a piece of paper, so they have to go with that agreement.
Oh, no, they don't have to do nothing. But it's a price to pay when you break, it's a price to pay. You don't got to do nothing. Yeah, you definitely don't got to do nothing. I'm going to say that. You don't got to do nothing.
And number two, have you ever studied Henrietta Lacks and how to use her cells to this day for all sorts of cures?
Yeah, it was crazy. They kept it. Yeah, yep. I think they sued the family sued. They get money for it now. Yep.
And we don't even know. And we don't even know if they killed her or not. We can't even say what happened to her. We
You
don't know.
mean with the cells, right? They took her
Yes,
cells.
she was.
Mhm.
They said that she had cancer,
Yep.
and when she checked into Johns Hopkins, they recognized that her cells don't die, so the
Yeah, it
cells
was
are still
crazy thing
alive to
ever.
this day.
Crazy. Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of we can pick out. You can pick out the bad stuff in science, but then the good stuff outweigh the bad. That's
You
another
sure? You sure?
positive, bro.
All right. I'm gonna look into that, and I'm gonna do a presentation on that. And I'm gonna see how much bad stuff happened and how we should feel about those things.
But the bad stuff was happening with or without science, though.
Well,
Imagine. Listen, imagine being
there
in
might be a
a
point too.
somebody cutting a hole in your damn head.
Imagine for real, huh?
Yeah, they did that, right? Y'all call it brain surgery or something. Y'all overwhooped the shit, but imagine that, yo. How many people had to go through that? Anyway, man, let me stop, yo.
Yeah, it was
I
called
don't think that
bloodletting. It was called
that
bloodletting,
science
huh?
itself.
I ain't talking about bloodletting, y'all. Everybody know the hell I'm talking about, yo. They did brain is a rudimentary cut a hole in your
Lobotomy.
head and release
Lobotomy, they
some of the.
call it.
Yo,
Lobotomy.
hey, yo, how easy you think that was, yo? The first subjects, yo. How you think? What you think? Hey, man, get over here and put a hole in your. Come on, man.
That's
Yeah,
crazy, right?
yeah. I'm just wanting to let y'all know, yo. All of it is crazy. Setting bones, breaking your bone, crazy. Anyway, go ahead, Lex, and then we're gonna move on to Preem. Go ahead. What you got?
Yeah, when you take an IQ test, it's
Mm.
one of the biggest things is pattern recognition. And I heard you say something that maybe I think maybe need to be clear up because you said when you speak of this, you say you like it's not science. I don't think people are attacking science like itself in terms of the process, but I think would you admit that our relationship with the scientific institutions have been very shaky at best. And so, with that being said, with all the experiments and the scientific institutions' relationship with our people, are you saying that we can totally trust the scientific institutions with our health and well-being, as if they're not influenced by science, by racism anymore?
We can trust them more than we can trust a person walking around outside telling me they got some damn herbs. Because at least we can look up the damn
Well, I
ingredients.
don't want a comparison. I just want to
No,
know, can we trust?
well, you dove in. Let me finish my point. At a certain part of your maturity, you have developed the level to have independent researchers. So we do have some independent researchers that will look at the data and tell us whether it makes sense or not. What we're not going to do is sit around and act like we can't do that. Got enough money to do that. Build strong communities based in scientific literacy and not pseudoscience, and then you would understand the need to have independent research, right? Those that enslave you, those that built civilizations have independent research. They're not sitting there believing and trusting nobody any damn way. But there's going to be a certain amount of trust, period. That's not the issue. The issue is that we have the world for all to have scientific communities, except pseudos. You being one of them, Lex, will come in and mess up the whole damn process. So don't sit here and ask me wild questions knowing damn well you don't give a damn about science. And you're throwing that little teeny grain in the brain for people who don't know no better. So let me blow that away. Knock it off, Lex. Let me move on. Preem, where you at?
So is that yes or no, sir?
Here I go. Here I go, man.
That's I don't even hear you. Go ahead, Preem.
Man.
Okay.
And this is the problem that we have. Um, First thing, and I hope I can keep it straight. But the first thing now I'm noticing, they they are making a to make their point, they're conflating science with medical research. And they're trying to make it seem like all of science can be reduced to the to the to the to to the negative things that have happened in medical research. So they're going to extrapolate that into saying that science in general can't be trusted, and you cannot do that. Um, yeah, I admit, with medicine, that falls into the category of applied science, and that's a bigger problem. That's just like we need black banks, just like we need black businesses, just like we need black mortgage companies. We need black doctors. We need black biologists. You know what I mean? So that's a general need. That doesn't mean you don't do science. That means more black people do science or do medical research. That so the undercurrent is we can't trust it. We can't trust it. No, the, that's the thing with science. You don't have to trust it. You go into the lab, or you find the journals, and pardon me, you go into the lab, you go into the journals, and you figure out what's going on for yourself. But it's easier to stand on the outside and say, oh man, you can't trust science, you can't trust science, than it is to go actually learn what it takes to figure these things out. And that's honestly, in essence, that's a big part of the problem. The big part of the problem, we throwing on the outside, we outside the party talking about the party trash. No, it's like, no, it don't work like that.
Did they have uh, black researchers and biologists during the times of the Tuskegee experiments?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't know
So
though.
I want to ask the brother Preem, do you think there's a difference between science itself and a scientific institution, sir?
Yes, it is, because science is bigger than one institution.
Right. So when you say,
Science is a way of thinking. So it is not. It's a process. It's the way
right.
you
So
go
did you
about
hear me when
learning
I was
things.
speaking to Ankh and I
What
said
you say?
our relationship with scientific institutions, because y'all keep acting like it's an attack on science itself. I'm saying that our relationship with the scientific institutions through pattern recognition, is that a stable relationship, is what I'm asking.
What do you mean by scientific institutions? Because I'm taking that for you to mean like
So
medical
when you
institutions,
All
right?
right, everybody freeze one time.
you don't know what a scientific institution is.
Yeah, no, it's different types of scientific institutions.
Well, all our interactions with the scientific institutions,
Which ones?
all of them pretty much. I mean, if you
Man,
look
why
at,
the
Like
hell
what
y'all
type?
talking through the
Okay,
damn
but
okay.
music?
but
Hold on for a minute. I know
hold on,
y'all
brother.
hear me.
It
So
seems like
explain
you're
to me
trying
how
I know
to.
y'all hear
astrophysics.
me. Hold
Explain to me how
on.
astro.
Freeze and
It's
everybody freeze, man. Big up the sister sci-fi, yo. She became a member of the channel. Appreciate that damn support. All right. Big up. Now, we not gonna be in no damn rabbit hole, y'all. Don't all go over each other. All right. Go ahead. What is the point y'all trying to bring out? Let me get Vasa. Let me get
well,
this super chat. Hold on. Wikipedia. Robert Russin Morton. All right. I looked at the hold on for a minute, real quick. I got that source right there. Well, so hold on. It was this one, I believe. Trepanning, is that what it's called? Am I saying that right? Trepanation, all right, was a prehistoric European practice, also in West Africa, ancient China, West Africa. Yep. Mm-hmm. Trepanning, yep. Yeah, you drill that hole in the head. Let me show this real quick. Then y'all can get back into it. We see American Dream. I had to get you on here quick because we falling in and out, bro. There you go. You put that hole in the head. There you go. Neolithic skull. Look a little painful. What y'all think? Yeah, just like bloodletting. That's another thing they was doing. They was doing all kind of stuff. All right. Anyway, back to our conversation. And let me call out this Cash App, man. That's the first one of the show. Appreciate that, Sunchild. That's some love right there, bro.
Yeah, it seems the brother Preem is trying to like complicate things by he wants me to name a specific institution. For instance, like the Tuskegee experiments that was ran by an institution. The even technology now, like when you deal with AI, their racism comes through, like in the way they train the weights for AI. That's why I said the relationship with our institutions, like the
Yeah,
educational,
we need to have a
and
better.
so
Hold on. I'm not disagreeing that you need to have a better relationship with your institutions. Yeah, absolutely. That's why we got black universities and all that. Is that gonna make it better?
right.
Oh, mm-hmm.
No, I'm just saying like so because it just sounds to me like
Yeah.
y'all are saying
We
it's
ain't saying.
over. Black.
Why would you? We ain't saying
I'm
nothing.
gonna say it as lightly as possible. This I'm gonna tell you just from what I'm hearing, then you can correct me. I'm not trying to say it's absolute,
All right, go ahead.
but from what I'm hearing, it's like
Yeah,
y'all
you
saying
got, hold on, Miss Tiff. I don't know the pattern recognition. I don't know what the hell you talking about with that. But anyway, go
pattern
ahead.
recognition. Pattern recognition is a part of an IQ test, so that's
Yeah,
part of intelligence.
I know, but
When you
then
can
yeah, but you merge that to you trying to say there's a pattern in our relationship between.
yeah. So I'm saying that if we look at our relationship
All right,
with these folks, going all the way back to the time you was talking about,
bring it home.
and their scientific institutions.
Bring it
Right
home.
from the beginning, we have been their guinea pigs and the source of their not only propelling their
Mm-hmm.
scientific institutions. It sounds
Mm-hmm.
like to me, y'all are saying that black people who are distrustful of those institutions are
Mm-hmm.
somehow outdated, need to get over it, and
Huh? All right,
like
stop right there. Stop
No,
right there.
can I
No, no,
now
no.
can I
Hold on,
like
respond?
I
Prince.
said, I might have had it. I
No,
might
hold
have
on.
had that wrong. I'm
You
just
do.
saying that's
All
what
right,
I'm
you
hearing.
do. I don't know. Hold on, Preem. Come on, man. What's over? I don't like the fake outrage because if you really felt that way, right, you would actually establish an institution. Plenty of African Americans have. They started hospitals. They started universities, right? Really, if you really felt, if you really didn't trust them like you say you did, you wouldn't just be howling and screaming. You would actually do what you say you do. It ain't like the shit on the moon. It ain't like we don't have groups of scientifically literate people, right? So that's just the talk, the chatty and the patty, the chatty on the panel. Go ahead, Anonymous.
Yeah, and again, the reason why I asked him the specific type of institutions he was talking about, because I addressed his point in my previous comment. When I didn't know it was him at the time, but when I said that they're trying to reduce medical research to the whole of science, and that's a false equivalency. You can't do that. So now I agree that um medical research has been the rest haven for pseudos from the beginning. All the way down to like we wasn't the other day we was talking about snake oil salesmen,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So there has always been a level of fraudulent science at laundry. It's always been a level of fraudulent science coming from the biological aspect. And yes, during that time, a lot of the pseudoscience, actually, all of the pseudoscience surrounding race came out around that time before science was 100% developed, and they were able to exist in the gray area because they were science like. They weren't practicing science all the way, but they was able to get it off in a time before institutions was The whole thing was codified, and institutions were built to stop nonsense from skating through. So now, as far as your point, as far as the distrust, yeah, again, like I said, you're reducing the medical research to the entirety of science. Yes, we should distrust medical research, but you should get a second opinion about anything. They'll even tell you that. Get a second opinion if you feel like you're not getting good medical advice. Get a second opinion, get a third one. Educate yourself. But
Well,
to
actually,
say,
brother,
I'm just hold
the
on, hold on. Let
concept.
me finish. Can I finish? Can I finish?
Hold
Can
on.
I finish?
Actually, you about to get put off the damn panel if you outburst like you ain't got no damn sense again. That's what's gonna happen. I can't handle a conversation like that. I start cussing. I start acting ugly. Right? I start abusing my power. I start wilding out on you. Cause I already know you're a damn pseudo, and I really want to say it. So I'm saying, let's keep it cordial, and you'll just get the cordial side of me. That's all. Go ahead, Preem. Continue to talk.
Yeah, so like I was saying,
No, you're not
um,
next, son, child.
instead of
Go
instead of getting a second, third opinion, or getting finding out all of the information you need, y'all almost like, man, the hell with it. I got cancer. I ain't gonna go to the doctor. I'm gonna go grab some herbs because I distrust the white man's science and the white man.
No,
So it's like
that's
that's
ridiculous.
a danger. Exactly. And y'all the
There's no
extremes that y'all
y'all with that.
and hold on, hold on, hold on,
You
hold on,
made
hold on,
that
hold
up,
on,
bro.
hold on, bro.
Hold
Listen,
on.
listen,
Hey, Preem, hold
listen.
on for a minute. Preem.
Mm.
Hey, Lex, I really want to cuss your motherfucking ass out. You know it and I know it. We don't got to play this game. So what I'm saying is to keep us in order, let's keep the thing in order. You said something wild and you got it off. Now he's
And that was
responding.
my point. That was my point. I exaggerated the point to show and prove, to mirror you. And as soon as I did it, you had a problem with it. But you took our position and you injected your own defensive posture into what we saying. Talking about y'all trying to say this, and it seems to me like, yeah, it might seem to you like it could be whatever in your brain, but that's not what we are saying. Again, this whole conversation is a context to this. It's a whole context. Has Cedric been taking pieces of the scientific method and breaking it down and going through the history and all of that? This is a whole series. It's almost like a class at this point where you got different lecturers coming in, and you got a curriculum, and it's almost to that point where we're really talking about getting into the history and the philosophy of science. So that's really the context of this. And for you to come in and make it seem like, and that's what y'all been trying to do the whole time, because you can't really attack the substance of what we're saying. So now y'all trying to make it a racial thing, like we being Eurocentric, we taking the white man's side, we saying what science is perfect and this and that, and y'all injecting a whole lot of stuff and a whole lot of arguments that we are not even making. And I want to make that clear.
Yeah, brother. I think I
All right,
said
we're gonna move forward.
from the
Now we heard
beginning of
you.
my.
We heard you. No, we heard what you said. You trying to throw doubt in the conversation, man, which is crazy. I don't know why you would think that.
I'm not really trying to throw doubt. I actually said this is what I'm hearing. Maybe I'm wrong.
When did you hear any? What kind of ears do you have? You just got pseudo hearing or something? Where'd you hear that at?
Pseudo
Oh, we're
ears.
Well,
saying this is what we're saying. We're saying. Let me tell you what we're actually saying. What we're actually saying is, you're not going to be able to solve none of them problems with pseudoscience. You're promoting pseudoscientific ideas. You're actually telling us don't trust mainstream critical thinking, Newtonian, Einstein, Julian Percy, you know what I'm saying? Science that has literally transformed the world we live in and has allowed us to make it to the age of reproduction to the tune of 9 billion people. You tripping. The hell is going on? You're not saying, hey, man, we need to continue to make investments in institutions ran by us, and then you still gonna get some illegal people. You always gonna get wild human beings, no matter the color of their damn skin. So don't be so trusting in humans. How about that? Start with that, no matter what their color is. Last time I checked, we're clearly aware of the history that has occurred that has put us on these platforms. What we're not going to do is act like that's something that all of a sudden disappeared. We never saying that. And we're not going to say that we can't see them coming, because you can. We talk about it all the time. The institutions have it. It's called systemic racism. We talked about it in the server. My thing is, what the hell you doing talking about? You're supposed to already know it's in the game. You know how the hell you got here. You didn't get here by the ferry boat, by buying a damn ticket on a steamboat. You got here on a slave ship. You never was supposed to forget that. But niggas lied and made it up and act like we was in America, and you forgot that you was enslaved. You thought you was a Native American. You promote that type of foolery. You forgot your damn history. You forgot that you participated in the scientific revolution. You forgot all that. You forgot that every daggone February, all you ever talk about is inventors. George Washington Carver, all you talked about him was he got down and talked to the damn plants. You didn't say he was a damn scientist. So I ain't never trying to hear that wild excuse, because it's wild to me. And it's complete foolery at all. Right now, what you're doing is you playing, bro. You're not giving us a healthy dose of your intelligence. You're using a pseudoscientific mentality to say, hey, man, why you can't trust these people's science? You can't trust these people's science because you don't even know what science is. Because if you did, you wouldn't be saying the things you continually say on a regular basis. What's up, Rebel? Talk to me.
Yes, King.
Big up,
Give
brother.
thanks for the pun.
You about to get me. He hit the word king.
No. It's just a greetings, man. It's just a greetings. But give thanks to the panel, and you don't know the people them were in the chat and listening out there. Give thanks to that,
Mm-hmm.
Yet still, Supreme and Ankh, it's something I keep hearing one of you guys saying, each of you guys saying. I hear Supreme said science is a way of thinking. I hear Ankh, not this today, but you said the scientific is the level of measuring or measurement level. Just you say systematic. And at the same time, where it's coming from, making the connection when Supreme saying that you got to take away medical science from the science itself. When you earlier on, my phone crank out on me earlier on, but you were making the connection to West Africa, where they brokerage the knowledge of the ancestors, the indigenous people.
Yeah.
And they now brokerage the science, took it back to Europe, wherever it was.
I didn't say that. See? You scamming.
Well, didn't you say they took it back to Europe and start distributing, the science itself, the information that they were getting from the West Africans, and start now making that revolution where they start doing the scientific method, basically, of knowing what the herbs really do or what it's contained to that effect. You were saying something to that effect earlier on, not today, but earlier on when
it was early in the day. It was early in the day,
like 12 o'clock or something. Yeah.
And I told y'all don't do it. Don't overwhoop it. You just overwhoop. I ain't say they took no scientific information from. They ain't had no damn science, but they had.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not scientific information. They took the indigenous information, the knowledge, the herbal information, and what they did, they kind of just created the pharmacology in that sense.
Yes.
If you're saying the connection, is what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, that's better. So, that's better said. That's better said.
Right, probably I misspoke. What you probably what I said is probably I misspoke. But at the same time, I would like to say to Supreme, science is really not a way of thinking, even though it's a revolution that changed the mindset of how you look at the scenarios. But science is more than just thinking, because then thinking is like philosophy, or philosophy is thinking. Then you don't act on it, you don't experiment.
Hold on. Everybody freeze. I'm gonna let you go, Preem. Hold on. Now, what the research shows versus what it does not show. Evidence of West African expertise, knowledge, extraction by Europeans, and the empirical motive driving medical inquiry. This demonstrates indigenous empirical medical knowledge uh, entering early modern scientific works. What it does not show, it does not automatically prove the existence of modern scientific institutions, controlled experimentation, or peer review practices in 17th century West Africa. It avoids anachronistic claims about modern laboratory medicine. So we should never get that mixed up. But you
Hey,
can,
if I could,
No,
can I read something real quick?
finish. What the hell is going on here?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll let you go next. Damn, bro. I'm simply saying.
That's not me, bro. That's
I
not
know
me.
what I know. I got your voices planted in my head. I know who it was. It was sun. It was suntan lotion or sun child, the child of the sun or something.
Yeah, you
I'm
called him
saying.
Lex. I was just
I did a. My point here is a lot of those traditional indigenous practices, plants and stuff, was taken back to the different colonies, right, and different empires, and they started to use institutional experiments and peer review on the thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the point that needs to be made here, yo. So it sits at the very foundation in the scientific revolution in the medicine thing. I also talked about Onesimus and the vital role in that. So
so
that relationship was important,
so
right? We don't hold on. That's how we saying that science is universal because everybody, whether hook or crook, you know what I'm saying, gave the science. Whether you helped, whether you wanted to, or whether you did, it was still your culture, right? And your plant, your ability to pick these medicinal plants that help thrive the what? The scientific revolution. That's my damn point.
so
And the point you illustrated right there was the difference between indigenous knowledge and science. Indigenous knowledge only is concerned with does it work or not. What science gives you is the how and the why it's working. And it's able to tell you what the active ingredient is in whatever, whether it's a herb or whether it's an inoculation. They're able to tell you the mechanism and the whys to do it, and then science allows you to be able to replicate it. Because what happens when it's a drought? You don't got no medicine. Now, because of science, you don't need the plants to take advantage of the medicinal qualities of the plant.
So then, Supreme, you cannot say that and then say science is just a way of. Well, you said just. You didn't say
Now,
just,
now,
but you
now,
said
now,
science
now,
is
can
a
I
way
now
of
can I
thinking.
address that point? Can
After
I
you
address
just
that
said that,
point?
like, you know
Can
what I'm
I
saying? It's
address?
just like
Can
a
I address that
convoluted.
point? Can
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
address that point?
Go,
You're
go
taking
ahead.
that. You're taking words out of context. Really,
No, I'm
in
not
this.
taking
Hold,
words
hold
out
on,
of
hold on, hold on.
context.
Listen, listen,
I'm taking
listen,
word in
listen,
the way how you
listen,
say it. Probably that's not how you meant
listen,
it, but I'm
listen.
hearing
No,
what you're
that's how you're
saying.
taking it. I'm about to
No,
explain
bro,
what I meant. Can I
that's how
explain
you
what I meant?
exposing it.
Can
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
explain
Now
what
you
I
can
meant?
explain what you mean.
Can I
Yeah, now
explain
you
what
could
I
do that.
meant? Can I explain
Hold
instead
on,
of you
Prince, you ain't
telling
got
me
to
what
keep
I
up.
meant? Can I
Go
explain
ahead,
what I
Prince,
meant?
read him out because he's the super duper exquisite cutoff artist.
Yeah.
The loudest mic I've ever heard of before. Go ahead, Preem.
Okay. The reason why I said I wasn't speaking on the definition of science, and this is really the heart of this conversation. Y'all take y'all just take any words in isolation and then you use that as your definitions. I wasn't defining science because if you want my definition of science, it's the primary definition of science that everybody uses when you say science and what you think of a systematic way of going about finding knowledge using the scientific method. That's the main definition. And when I'm talking about science, that's what I said. The reason why I said it's a way of thinking, it it was a colloquialism for saying it's a orderly way to go about getting knowledge using specific steps. I was just trying to use shorthand because I was trying to make a bigger point. You took that one vocalization, took the context, and then you made a whole other you made a whole other thesis about that, me using those words. I can change those words. Though I'm not married to those words or that verbiage. But the point is whatever the bigger point I was addressing at that time. It wasn't to define science or say or make a hard stop at saying this is science. That wasn't the context of that conversation. And for you to peel that little phrase, that one sentence, and for you to peel that out and then to go off on a whole tangent about that, that's disingenuous, bro. Because that wasn't the
All right,
because
I
the point
wasn't
you're
trying to be
because the
disingenuous.
point you're arguing is
Come on,
not the
bro. Like,
point I
let it
was
go
trying
for a
to
minute,
make.
man. Just let it go. Like, I understand what you're saying or what you're trying to say now.
Killer, man.
No,
He a serial killer.
because
He
the
a
conversation really should be over. Because I wasn't talking about what you're
serial
saying I was talking about. So that it's really no conversation.
Let me get in there, God Killer.
All right, go ahead and get in. And then
Thank
we're
you.
gonna then we go back to you,
Just
brother.
to read, just to read a couple of things to follow up on the brother Rastafari. It says here the scientific revolution's major breakthroughs in botany, pharmacology, and geography relied entirely on the extraction of traditional ecological knowledge, which was then repackaged as European discovery. Erasure of authorship. Figures like Sir Hans Sloane, whose collections founded the British Museum, traveled the Americas gathering hundreds of medical plants. They relied entirely on indigenous guides to identify which plants were safe, toxic, or medicinal. The classification system. When Carl Linnaeus formalized modern biological taxonomy, he actively stripped away the rich ecological context and native names provided by indigenous informants, replacing them with Latin names to catalog the world under a Eurocentric framework. I think that's what the brother Rastafari was talking about. And as far as Preem goes, as far as this thing about medical research and science.
Hold on, where you get that from? I see a red flag on the plate. You doing something? I heard it.
Well, that's a Google search.
Hey,
Well, what
I
paper?
didn't even finish asking you my question, bro.
And to
Everybody
be
cutting
honest,
me out.
the brother
I don't
Rasta said
disagree with you. Hold on, I don't
the brother
disagree.
Rasta
Hold on,
said he
yo.
heard you say it. That's where I got the
Hold on.
idea
I
from
don't
as well.
disagree.
I think you may have said the same thing.
No, I don't disagree. I don't. It's like you got an angle, like you got your fist balled up behind you. How supposed to say? I think you got your fist balled up behind you. Yeah, they
I
did.
mean, I didn't say anything, brother.
All right, what you trying to say? They did all that though. They, if they enslaved you, what makes you think they're going? They did all. What that mean? What does that mean to you? Hold on. That's how I get.
It's just to me. It's just another example of.
Hold on, I'm gonna kill 3 birds with 1 stone.
To me, it's just another example of. To me, it's just another example of stolen legacy.
Okay, that's a
What?
pseudo. That's a pseudo.
Hey, can I ask a question, man? Like a reasonable question.
You can't. Let me say this. I'm gonna kill Lex, Sunchild, Roster Rebel, because they cheating
How
right
am
now.
I included?
Because
They are
watch this, ladies and gentlemen.
ulterior motives.
They got now. Listen for it. Now, here's my question to y'all. What does it mean to you that they took the plants and renamed them and did all that and say the hell with the people? What does that mean to y'all?
They also took credit for the information, brother.
They took the information.
It shows up.
Now, go ahead. Start off, Lex. What does it mean to you, Lex? Go ahead, Lex.
Go ahead, Lex. Go ahead, Lex.
It shows a pattern.
Oh, shit.
Stolen legacy.
The levels of stupidity.
Yeah, I believe that's a pattern.
That shit was incoherent. Go ahead, Sanjay. What does that mean to you? That they took their stuff and they synthesized. They did all that, and what does that mean to you?
Stolen legacy.
What? No, that's a pseudo
So does
book.
that mean the knowledge is wrong?
Hold on for a minute. Go ahead.
No, it's that they took these people's information, started the scientific revolution at the same time they were calling them savages and exterminating them.
And we know that. Okay.
Keep going. What else? Because I hear
we know that. So now what?
We want to add you one more piece. Go ahead.
They got no smoke for that. They're above that. They have no smoke for what happened to their ancestors.
It's not a relevant point to have
y'all
smoke
right,
for.
though.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. Nobody's arguing that.
Why would we have smoke with a fact?
Right. Why would I argue
that? So now what?
I thought
no, you ain't got no smoke for the people who
said that.
Hold on, Lex.
When the Rasta said it, you said that wasn't true.
No, he didn't.
No, he said something different than
Hold
that.
on, let's get to the roster. Go ahead, Ross. And then we're gonna get to Sabio, and then we're gonna come back to another.
Yeah. You see, give me a little minute. Give me a little minute. It means that basically what you said, the revolution in a way of thinking started with the European, but Jaja. Well, listen.
Terrible.
Where we say is the transition of the revolution, right? Started with the European brokeraging the information and taking it to their
flag, yo. We
to their so-called studies.
Listen,
and changing the mindset.
We already said the
scientific.
Already talked about what West Africa what they stole from West Africa. Yo, you didn't overwhoop the shit.
No, but you asking me the question about it, so I was answering that, and then I would ask you a question in return. It's a technical question, right?
All right, go ahead, because it's a red flag.
Because I've been looking up the question all the time: science versus the scientific method, and what it says that science is the accumulation of the knowledge.
Yes.
While the scientific method is a tool that is used. So when we use the word science and we're saying, well, it means the scientific method, they kind of striving for the same thing. Most of the time, that's what I hear on the channel. Like, well, when we talk about science, we mean the scientific method, and it's the implication. But at the end of the day,
no.
You doing?
The scientific science is the way of getting knowledge using the scientific method.
You gotta stop the cap, yo.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So the scientific method is the tool, and the science is the information collected.
And
that's what I'm saying.
That's what. No.
So then we cannot say at the same time, well, scientific method is science. We can
weren't saying that, bro. Y'all playing word games, man. Y'all playing word rhetorical games, and that's not the point. The definition of science is you're trying to make an argument where there is none. The definition of science is collecting knowledge, pretty much collecting knowledge using the scientific method. Is the way of
and there's other ways. There are other ways of collecting information rather than the scientific method, bro. You could collect information by observing.
But it's not science.
Bro, it's considered.
That's the point.
Oh, no, we're not.
It's another way of collecting knowledge, bro.
You cannot overtalk a point, bro.
Yeah.
We all know part of science is observing, bro. Like, why would you even play that game right now? What the hell do you think you're doing right now, man? We all know that's part of it.
No, Ankh, I'm not saying it's part. It's another way, just another way of doing experiments.
So that's not
through observation alone, not going through the scientific method.
Right,
but it's another way of collecting knowledge.
Yes, but that's not science. We agree with you.
Listen.
That's not science. Just observing isn't science.
That's not enough just to observe. You know how long humans been observing stuff? Now, can you get a tool to observe it, collect the data from your observations, and put it through the scientific method is what we're saying, bro. It is a way of thinking. Most times, y'all get slick. Y'all be like, I wouldn't need a scientific method. Then you ain't thinking right. And the scientific method ain't no one set of things. There's different ways to employ the scientific method. There's different aspects of it. So don't get us caught up in that part. Just staring at some shit ain't enough, yo. Y'all sitting here acting like 350,000 BCE, they ain't had nothing but the damn world to look at.
Man,
Do you think
Yeah.
they had to go get some damn water and get some food? They was looking, yo, they was like this all day long. Nigga, they wasn't doing like we doing, eat a sandwich and fall out on the couch. I come in from work, I lay on the couch, I'm knocked out. Knocked out. They wasn't doing that. They was like, oh shit, the rabbit wasn't enough.
May I
Ain't
speak to
enough
that?
food, we got 10 people.
That's
They
a hell
ain't
of an
enough.
assumption
May
for
I,
I'm in the
may I
middle
speak?
of
years ago.
the
May I
daggone
speak to
joke.
that?
I'm in the middle of cracking a joke, making the show fun, because I did cuss a little bit, and y'all two disrupted my joke piece. Let me finish my joke. It's part of the damn show. Rather I joke or cuss you out, which one you want? I'd rather cuss you out. Stop cutting me off. Like I was saying, at 350 BCE, you ain't had no choice but to look. Everybody naked, so everybody looking. Everybody hungry. Everybody trying to find a way to get some food, clothing, and shelter. At 350,000 years, oh, shit, that's a hell of a rook. What is that? I don't know. I'm going to use the bus. I don't know. We looking. That's not enough. But the accumulated knowledge from 350 BCE all the way to the scientific revolution, slavery, and colonization is when things explode, bro, into a whole nother way of thinking. So science is a way of thinking, bro. Man, y'all gonna mess up my jokes, man. I rap a
May I
joke.
speak to that? May I
Yes, you
speak
can.
to that, brother? Hawk?
Yes, you can, sir.
Thank you, brother. Hawk. Yeah,
Savio,
I'll read that.
Savio,
I'll read this.
we gotta
I'll
let
read.
Savio go. We gotta know you won't. Savio, go ahead.
yeah. So it's kind of crazy that the words that are being used will be pigeonholed to make arguments out of. But throughout the presentation that you showed earlier and this one, it was clear that these same people had an epistemic shock. And I don't think they understand what that epistemic shock meant. So while y'all are up here arguing for science in West Africa, those West Africans only thought it was one or two continents also. Maybe just the areas that they were concerned with. Why? Because a lot of them didn't go outside that immediate area. So what are you guys talking about? You guys gotta stop the cat.
Well, here's what we're talking about.
Hold
I
on,
think I
I got you. Hold on, I got you. Hey, man.
Stop the cat.
Yeah, y'all got to stop the cat, yo. Y'all cat. Yeah, y'all got to
Well, I
stop.
think you'll find this very interesting as it relates to what you guys are saying.
What are you reading
If
from?
I could read it.
Hold on, sir. What are you reading from?
It's the question I asked the Google AI. Did the indigenous people have a classification system before Linnaeus?
Of course they
And,
did. Jesus Christ, that's
Yes.
what humans do. Of course they did.
but I thought you just said all they did was just look around looking for stuff to eat. They didn't have time to sit back and ponder. This is telling you that they
Wow.
actually
So you
did
went
have
They
a.
didn't know the chemical composition of those plants. They
No,
didn't know what a chemical
Well,
was. They didn't know what a molecule was. They didn't know what
you
an
would allow
atom
me to, if you
was.
would just allow me to
Come
read
on,
what it
man,
says they
stop it.
did know,
You
if you
can't.
would allow me to read what it says
No,
they
we're not
did
gonna.
know, it might.
No. You got to stop the cat.
They did not know the chemical
Hold on, you got to
composition
stop the
of the
cat.
plants.
That's not even the point. This man, it went from 350,000. I
Stop
said
it.
350,000 years, yo. Didn't I say that? I said it 350,000 years ago in the damn Stone Age, yo. You ain't had no choice but to look at everything around you. You wasn't just kicking back half the damn day. You couldn't do it. You ain't have enough. You had to constantly be on the hunt. It's called hunting and gathering, and that's an all-day, everyday process, bro. You then took that and ran it all the way to West Africa, 1500 AD, and applied that to that. Stop the cat. Sunchild. Now go ahead and read that without the damn cat. Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
Okay, the answer was yes. Indigenous cultures across the globe possessed highly sophisticated deeply structured systems of natural classification thousands of years before Carl Linnaeus developed his binomial taxonomy.
There you go.
Anthropologists and biologists study these systems under the fields of ethnotaxonomy and folk biology, while Linnaean taxonomy relies on rigid anatomical structures, specifically sexual organs in plants, to isolate a species. Indigenous classification systems are typically relational, ecological, and functional, prioritizing how a living being interacts with its ecosystem and human communities. Hierarchical classifications. Many indigenous languages feature nested hierarchies remarkably similar to Western ranks: kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, but organized around different biological principles.
Yes.
Yeah, we agree, bro. Damn. And for the record, just cause I man, do you know indigenous tribes been organizing plants?
Yeah, I thought I just heard you say that they didn't really have
BCE,
time for that. They weren't sitting around pondering things. I think this kind of speaks against that. That they did have an understanding of nature more sophisticated than what we give them credit for. And indeed, it perhaps is the framework of, like you're saying, the scientific revolution. They played a major part even in the taxonomy and classification system. Carl Linnaeus, he only used a different method, as you guys are saying.
Come on, man.
He wore me out. Stop the cat.
at least I didn't get the cop car.
Did y'all see how he did that?
At least I didn't get the cop car. It's all
What is
good.
going on here, man? Did you see how he framed that real cool and calm and added the shit together? Ain't nobody say he went from 350,000 years ago. I say, yo, when they started out, they ain't had nothing but observation. That was the inference was on observation. Like they ain't have nothing else to do. Humans never stop observing, bro. Yeah, and I'm sure at 350,000 years, they would get some plants and eat it and start categorizing. The women was doing that. Okay, at 350,000. But my point was that, yo, it's a lot of hustling and a lot of goddamn bustling going on, yo. You ain't got no choice but the law.
That wasn't even the point. They just, oh man, this is frustrating, man. It's like it's a comprehension issue.
No, he don't. No, that's not. It's a pseudo issue. They do it on purpose to make them understand why they don't understand science. Why the white man is beating them up. See, they don't know they get punched in the face every day. They don't know why they gotta go get the check from the white man. They don't know why they gotta get in the white man car or go to the FDA approved food in the damn refrigerator. You let your kid go get it, right? But yet you still talk reckless about the white man and science as if white man created science. Nowhere in none of these lectures did we ever say the white people created any damn thing. What we said was it's accumulated knowledge from 350,000 BCE to the point where they took that shit. Now, but it still was your knowledge. Regardless, they gave you credit for it. Now they're giving credit for it. And how do I know they're giving credit for it? Because here's the source to show you that they're giving credit for it now. It's never too damn late. Don't act like it ain't happened because it actually did. This is where y'all gotta knock it off. Here's the source, right? To verify West African knowledge is right here. Here you go, right here. So we're never just sitting here acting like right here. It's in the what? The Royal Society, West African Medical Knowledge, the Slave Trade and the Royal Society, yo. By Caroline Roberts. Here you go. It's the documents right here, bro. It's all written down. They know they're admitting they stole it and took it, bro. It's all right here. The following plants in the native names: Ventus. I can't even read that. The fort, what's this? The front time, what's this? Finance received from my worthy and received friends. So this is this man notes right here. Philosophical Transaction, volume 19, page 232. All right here. All right. Man, so they look, New Guinea plants. It's right here, yo. Native names. They got all that. They tell you they stole it, bro. We got the notes. That renders y'all argument ridiculous at this point. knock it off, and just stop the complete cap. I wouldn't even be able to give the presentation if I wasn't able to give you the real I'm giving y'all real documentation. So when I give you the real documentation, you can't sit up there and say, hey man, they just stole the name. We ain't know. Yeah, we know about it because we found the notes. And the very people that took it is exposing themselves. See that? If the very y'all didn't go find it. That's what I'm saying. It's in a secret vault called the damn library. Y'all act like y'all went and dug it up, found the note somewhere underground. Some y'all didn't. Now, man, y'all gotta stop that capping, man. Hey, Preem, man, tell them stop the cap, Preem.
They must have missed the. They must have came late and didn't realize that was part of your presentation. You were saying that's part of it. You not only said it was slavery, but it was it wasn't only a theft of humans, but it was a theft of resources, knowledge, herbs. That was part of the whole thing. That was part of that global economy that drove the whole thing. So it's. Yo, man, it's like they just come to argue, bro. It's
Hold on,
like they just come to argue.
Can you see the screen, yo? What this say? This say the Journal of Science, right? Can you see it?
Yep.
It say historians expose early scientists, right, debt to the slave trade, man. Key plants and animals specimens arrived in Europe on slave ships, yo. Look, they got the actual documentation. What the hell is y'all talking about, man? Like, y'all can't be having these same old arguments, bro. Man, y'all got access to this, man. You got Brazil, Portugal, France, Spain, Netherlands, African ships to America, textiles, sugar. Like, come on, bro. Yeah, like I said, when people was traded like goods, like it's all here, bro. All the plants, all the stuff. Look at that. Like it's here, man. And man, y'all the only ones acting like it's in the hidden vault. Y'all bugged out. Y'all gotta stop that, bro. This is what we're
Hey,
gonna do. We're gonna stop capping. Go ahead.
what's crazy is when you ask them about the West African technology, the ship technology, why they didn't sell away from the enslavers, huh? But we had science. West Africans had science because they documented some plant. They knew what plants was. They had science.
Tell you what, man. I
Technology to
tell
get
you what.
away from enslavement, though.
Hey, Preem, closing words. Yo, we gotta get out of here, man. I done ran over time. I'm tripping. Hit the damn button, Cedric. We coming right over there. Hey, Preem, I want the audience to go to the pseudo killers, man. We're gonna move this audience right over there to the pseudo killers.
All right, that's
Hit
what's
the damn
up.
button.
But
Hit the damn button.
basically, man, this again, this just shows the level that they gotta stoop to try to debunk whatever it is we saying. And at this point it's like I don't know. At this point I don't know if it's a psychological thing or what, but it's like if we
Right.
say left, they gonna say right. If we say down, they gonna try to figure out a way to say
Yep,
up.
yep.
And it's to the point now it's getting so obvious they coming up here trying to argue stuff that argue points we not making. They trying to twist can to try to just to have a gotcha moment. And it's like and it always comes down to rhetoric. It never comes
Mhm.
down to the substance of what's actually being said. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, they play too much, bro. The funniest thing ever, yo. We were sitting there saying, huh? Lex was saying what he thought with his hand. What the hell? They got like some kind of filters or something. Is it like a pseudo filter or something, yo? That shit crazy, bro. No way, man. Hey, man. Look, man. This the Friday Atheist show, man. We great go over there to the pseudo killers, man. All right. It's the Friday Atheist show, man. Y'all know how we do it around here, man. Man, hit the damn Cash App going out the door. Show some love, man. You know what I mean? Hit it going out the door. Y'all know how it is.
See as you enter, everywhere gentle. My body remember something where I never tell. Everything's competition, pseudos be wishing. Bobby banger, put niggas on a mission. Bitches in the corner hiding and sneak this. Now you they do me, do me, do me. Now you they do me so. Now you they hold me, hold me, hold me. I know if you leave, I know if you go.
We getting money, getting paid for the missions, doubling down on them bitches, fast taking pictures. You laugh.
My leg shake, voice deep but he still break. Form hard guy for their face. For your front I they downgrade. Everything's competition, pseudos be wishing. Bobby banger, put niggas on a mission. Bitches in the corner hiding and sneak dissing. Who they control remote? Who they press my code? Who turn hard man joke? Who they shift my road? Now you, now you, now you, now you.
We get money, getting paid for the missions, doubling down on them bitches, fast taking pictures.
Man, look, man, get on over there to the Pseudo Killer channel, man. It's the Hit the Button show. All Pseudo Killers gonna be in the damn building, man. Appreciate everybody that came through, man. It was a great show. The Art of the Conversations in full goddamn effect, man. I'm your host, Bobby Banger, and with that, we